Hmm. Today's not the best day here. I did have a lamb die this morning. An apple over here, I don't think is feeling great. I gave her some treatments a little bit ago, but so I'm fairly certain the lamb that died this morning did die of barber pole, or it's a parasite, so a parasite infestation. And I do the best I can. I mean, I checked that lamb a couple weeks ago, thinking it probably did have parasites, but nice bright red eye, so I didn't treat her for them. In fact, none of the sheep needed any treatments, which was really nice. Since then, and the reason I thought she might is because she was a little bit smaller than the rest, and she had kind of like her stomach was fat. It was kind of like sticking out in kind of like I don't know, a swollen way. And so, and we're sitting out here with all the sheep out here. They're all resting and chewing their cuds. Um, and she was a part of a triplet from Greta. And when she was born, her teeth were a little sharp and not really straight. So I think when she was nursing, she was hurting Greta. And so Greta decided that, she wasn't going to let her nurse of the three. And so the two boys that were her brothers, they grew pretty quickly. And she got rejected. She would sneak milk here and there from her and from any other mom that she could get it from, but didn't really thrive as much. But she moved to grass very, very, very quickly, much faster than most lambs. And because of that, probably her rumen wasn't completely fully developed. This is April right here. She's taking a nice little nap here. Most of her hair is gone. And so she was probably a little compromised. And so, of all the lambs out here, she was probably the most susceptible to getting parasites. Came out here this morning. She was fine yesterday. Came out here this morning. She's separated herself from the rest of the flock. Never a good sign. I gave her some dewormer, some vitamin B12, and she was dead a half hour later. So that wasn't a real good thing. However, I'm glad that she died quickly and didn't suffer much, at least. So that's a good thing. Apple is another one who I'm kind of concerned about right now. She definitely has barber pole. I've checked her eyes. Her Famacha score is low. I would say between a 1 and a 2. Not something you want to have. I'm sorry, not a 1 and a 2, and a 4 and a 5. And which means that her mucous membranes around her eye are pretty fairly white. And she's a yearling who had twins, and you never really want your yearlings to have twins. It just compromises their system and makes them more susceptible to getting parasites or any other illnesses that might come through your flock. And she is not feeling well, and you can tell she's breathing heavy compared to the other sheep, and it's a little warm, but definitely breathing heavier than she should. She just has I don't know, hanging her head, her ears are a little lower. Nostrils are definitely showing some respiration that I don't like to see. So I did the same thing for her. I gave her what's called Prohibit, which is a dewormer, and also gave her some Nutri-Drench, which she very eagerly ate, probably a little more than I would have normally given her, but went ahead and gave it to her. It's tough because when they get sick at all, there's a saying in the vet world as a sick sheep is a dead sheep, meaning that if they show signs of illness, it's really hard to get them past that. They typically do die, even with treatments. So I'm hoping that I caught this early enough and she does okay. She has twins on her, still nursing, but they are old enough that they could go to grass and be okay. But I'm definitely very concerned about her. I don't think she feels great at all. This is her sister, and you can see the differences in how she looks. She looks content. Nostrils are not breathing heavy. Looks just like she's just taking a nap. Where if you look over at Apple, she just looks like she doesn't feel well. I mean, that's kind of how I feel when I don't feel good either. That's probably how I look. Maybe not like a sheep, but definitely just not feeling great. You can see her nostrils are definitely working a little extra than they should be. So that's today's update from the farm. I will let you know how Apple does, and hopefully we have some good news to share in the next couple days. Talk to you soon.